Hey guys, and false facers. I've just recently restarted playing Pirate101, you know, the long forgotten MMO that is still surviving almost 10 years later without updates. Anyway, while playing through on Twitch, I was reminded of all the funny parodies the game implemented, and today I plan to go over a few of them. So without further ado, let's begin. To start, we have a major character by the name of Gortez. That's right, the incredibly strong and powerful gorilla conquistador. Now, Gortez is based on two people, actually. His backstory is based on Hernando Cortez, a famous conquistador who is credited as conquering the Aztecs for Spain. His story during the events of the game, however, mainly during the Isle of Dumark, is based on the fictional character Colonel Kurtz from the film Apocalypse Now, which was based on the novella Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. Anyway, both have the same story in which a powerful military leader, while exploring a dangerous jungle, goes insane and creates his own society. The similarities between Gortez, Kurtz, and Cortez ends here though, as Gortez during the events of the game becomes the new king of Monquista. Kurtz is actually killed in his story, and Cortez, after toppling the Aztecs, ended up dying in debt due to financing his expeditions himself, and the monarchy in Spain not really caring too much for him. Well, actually, maybe they are more similar than I thought. Well, next on the list, we find our way to Jonah Town, and you might not have noticed this one, but in a small house down below, you'll find the one and only Lucius Fox. This engineering whiz and his voice are based upon Lucius Fox from the Batman franchise, mainly the portrayal by Morgan Freeman. Both Foxes are engineering geniuses and create unique equipment for their respective main characters. All around a cool and minor parody, but still pretty neat. Now, still in the whale's stomach, this one is pretty well known and blatant, but we move to the game's parody of The Godfather. The Fogfather is similar to Vito Corleone, is a criminal kingpin who runs Skull Island's version of the mob. The Fogfather has similar mannerisms as Vito, with a parody of one of his famous lines, "You come before me on the day of my daughter's wedding," actually being put into the game. I'm pretty sure most of you have noticed this similarity, but I couldn't really make a parody video without including him. Next, we have El Toro, or should I say Zorro, from the movie The Mask of Zorro. This is another blatant parody, but I had to mention everyone's favorite Cool Ranch companion. Anyway, similar to Zorro, El Toro is a crime-fighting vigilante at night, but by day he is a wealthy socialite and hacienda owner. Now this is my own speculation, but I found El Toro's day life to be similar to Bruce Wayne's, but I did read that Batman was partially inspired by Zorro, but whether that's true or not, I'm not really sure. I couldn't find any confirmation on that, but that's just a little fact I wanted to let all of you know. Alright guys, we're jumping to Cool Ranch for this one. A companion Musketeers get is named Rooster Cogburn. This character is based on a fictional character of the same name from the Western novel True Grit. The character became somewhat known when John Wayne portrayed him in the movie Rooster Cogburn, but the novel was made formally into a film titled True Grit, with Cogburn being portrayed by the dude actor himself, Jeff Bridges. The game's Rooster is designed similar to the Jeff Bridges movie version, with both lawmen using an eye patch and both having similar designs, and to further distinguish him in the game, Rooster Cogburn actually has a different VA from the other various chicken lawmen in the game. And one more fun fact, Rooster Cogburn actually learns the ability True Grit, which is the name of the novel his character is based on. No idea if this was intentional, but still pretty neat coincidence if not. Next, we move to Polaris, which as of making this video hasn't been released yet for Pirate101. The character Napoleon is based on the famous French ruler Napoleon Bonaparte. The two have incredibly similar origin stories before taking over France during the French Revolution or the Penguin Revolution for Napoleon. Anyway, both end up losing to a combined army of the world, but were exiled or imprisoned in some way, with Napoleon being exiled to the island of Elba, while Napoleon was imprisoned in Fort Helena, which is also on a small island. The two also were known for their short stature, with Napoleon compensating by wearing tall hats. But before we move on to the last parody, I have to say, according to History.com, Napoleon was actually considered average in terms of height. The main reason we consider him short today is due to a string of cartoons made by a British cartoonist making fun of Napoleon. And who says the media can't distort our perception? Anyway, the last parody shouldn't be a shocker, since I mention him any chance I get while streaming on Twitch. By the way, you should follow me if you haven't. The one and only Finn Dorsal is based on Vin Diesel's character Riddick from the Chronicles of Riddick. The similarities include both being blind, both being free-thinking in a way, and Finn uses a pair of knives very similar to ones Riddick uses in his first film. It's just a shame King's Isle hasn't buffed Finn to be an actually decent companion. You guys know I had to complain about his terrible stats. Anyway, Dorsal even says one of Riddick's famous lines, "You've made 3 mistakes today." But unlike Riddick, at one point Dorsal isn't even able to state 3 mistakes. Alright, so those are a few of the mini parodies scattered throughout the spiral. If you guys want more, I'll work on part 2 discussing the parodies of
The Magnificent Seven.
But anyway, everyone take care, and I'll see you in the next video.
Big mistake coming here.